It looks like it at the moment, which is very good. How you doing, those watching later? I hope very well, because I don't think there's anybody here right now at the very start of this. Okay, I think we're going to put Witzelliben, Erwin von Witzelliben, force in command of watching all of the ports right now. So you're going there. You're also going there. Okay. You're already where you need to be. Yep. You're going up to there. Let's change your location to that port. You're dug in. You're down there. Okay. Let's put you on trains. And we can send you down to Lava Shell. Oh, way down here. Okay. Put you on trains. We send you down to Bordeaux. Okay. South of Paris. Let's send you out to Brest. Really care about that little bit of movement. Let's stop. You on trains. You can go to Lorient. Okay, yeah, you're already moving to there. Well, we already have somebody moving to there. Let's stop you. Send you out to Cherbourg. Yeah, Nance. She's sort of going there, so we'll stop you because I don't think we need more going that way. Well, let's send you also down to Bordeaux. I know somebody else is probably heading down there too, but send you up to here. You're also going there. We don't need too many forces up there. There. Okay, well, yeah, you can stop. Let's send you up to Rotterdam. Go to Amsterdam. Okay, way down here. Cool. Come up to whatever port that is. Up there. You can come up to whatever port this is. Okay, you. Let's see, yeah, stop for the moment. We'll send you to here, I guess. There we go. There we go. Let me just check something here. Let's see if it's... Yes, good. Good, good, good. Okay, now we have... Bavarians and we have Rommel's army here. Let's select all. Send it down to here on trains. Now, we have to deal with the iron problem and whatnot and take Norway. I was asked by Ari, I believe it was, whether I was going to focus on the Mediterranean or do the historical Soviet fight. Well, I'm not sure right now at this moment. Why am I not sure? Well, things can shift and change. Let's send you up to here. They're not going to invade with those forces, but we might that is, want to send them via ship to help fight up in Norway. Might as well have them somewhere nearby to see how that goes. Let's send you east. We can just straight to Warsaw. Invasion army. Fine.
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
We'll send you east. We can send you to Krakow. Kharkov is over here. Krakow. Let's look here. Now, from nationalist Spain, we can import stuff. So, because we're right on the border now, so that should not need shipping. Let's do 2 of those. See if we can get that going. Part of the problem is, only part of the problem is, my understanding is every time you reload it, this sort of goes to 0 and then it starts, and I may be wrong about this, those watching later. There's been a few people watching now, but no one said hi yet. Is that because these factories sort of shut down if they don't have enough supplies, and so I'm wondering that when I start this up, if the situation is we don't have enough supplies, and so they shut factories down. Maybe, I'm not sure. Probably at the moment. Maybe I should be, but he's moving. Patience. Ski survives this time. How interesting. Yeah, you can join the war, I guess. They've already sent us this rather large force. Okay, let's put it under a general. Oh, not von Manstein. A little bit of cavalry, so we'll put it under. Let's send it up to England here. Just to sort of put more divisions on the front line. Use it. we're going into Yugoslavia at some point here. Okay, well, we have more ports, so let's see. Would be building, if we had enough steel, type 9s. Those are the longer range subs. So what we're going to do is all these infinities here, I guess, increase it to 1 to finish whenever they get done there, and so that we can convert them to type 9s. Hey, hello, Aereo 111, how you doing? Just having a bit of fun here figuring out this resources on. Yeah, that's what I was sort of talking about here, the resources. It just, now it's adjusted to negative, which is probably what it really is, but I'm afraid it's sort of killing it out. So I don't know that this is the best way to do this. I do understand that steel is a product where iron is, yeah, you refine it, true, but it is a resource, you know. But I don't know if it really is a proper benefit to the game having it there as a defined different thing. Naval situation. Hello, Eric. How are you feeling? Feeling any better? I don't know what the hell is it running all these lives for here. Ah. Very good to hear. Yeah, we're getting ready to. We need to. For some reason, your country decided to go to war with me. I don't know why. Does anybody know if I could turn this off manually, like you can in Hoi 3? I know I'm such an expert. I know everything about this. Not. But I'm even telling it not to avoid this C zone here, and I don't want this to be happening. Trying to turn off the supplies via sea here. I don't want to run supplies through the sea. I want to have them come overland. I know I can block off the sea zone, sort of. Well, I know I can totally block off if I want to, but I don't want to. I just don't want it to run supplies through the ocean. Okay, if Toy can help, that would be lovely. There's probably a way to do it, but I know how to do it in the production. Hey, Toy Jet. Yeah, okay, I hear you. I already have it on C Access Avoid, and the channel is off. But I want to run my submarines through the Bay of Biscay. Yeah, I hear you, but okay, well, But you see, I don't even want. I don't. You know, I want to use the sea, but I don't want to. I don't want to do it. Oh, tough luck. Okay, good. Thank you for the information, Toya. I do appreciate it. Yes, I did know about the sea zones, but I. Yep, and that's probably it. Set to avoid and hope for the best. Um, Set to avoid and hope for the best. Okay, I guess it's time for the starting rant here. I'm going to start an episode here. I'm gonna get, yeah, if they base, hopefully that transports will avoid it. Yeah, I hear you, but hasn't been working. Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing look at World of Blaze, Hearts of Iron 4. Want to thank everyone for their support, including Toyjet and Nils and others over on Patreon. Thank you very much, as well as Toyjet was helping me out here just a moment ago before starting out this episode here. This rant is in particular based on Hoi 4. Now, I really love a lot of things developed for Hearts of Iron 4. I love railroads. I really, so far in playing, I'm not saying they haven't affected things. They have. But they're marginal at best, because with this detail of, this density of railway network supply and movement of troops and everything, I even think there probably should be some more railroads going through some of those places. It doesn't really matter that much. Where I think it will matter out here. I hope it will matter out here. Now, I was just talking with Toyjet here, and just before starting this episode, I said to avoid these things, these areas, but I had already long since told it to avoid the North Sea and have blocked off the English Channel. Now, because I don't like this, because I'm losing ships to this, and I don't have a way to turn off supply here. This seems to be a problem here with Hoi 4, because I know how to do it in Hoi 3, because Hoi 3 as standard, it automatically does supply and resource convoys, but you can turn it to manual if you want to do that. I really like options like that, and I wish that I had that here. This really sucks. So another sort of problem with Hoi 4. Now, if we were to, well, I guess so long as I still haven't gotten Norway, I don't really want to put my ships out to share work to be used there. Okay. We're getting ready, hopefully soonish, to head towards Norway to visit Eric and Toyjet's home. Norway had decided to declare war against me. So they're forcing me to go north and deal with that. That's sort of a shell of guarding the ports. Got some divisions around as reactionary or reaction forces. Hopefully that, well, this is a little dense to see where. The thing is here.
Ausrücken! Bereit! Befehle!
Deciding not to come around through there. Japan demands French Indochina, and we've integrated Hungary better into our industrial capacity here. Now, if we also integrate Romania, Triol and Brandenburg will each get 2 military factories, and down in Legionary Romania will get a total of 4 military factories. And we get some resource rights. Okay, so let's do that. Now again, okay. Oh, actually, somehow we're sort of positive on resources there. Good. But we don't have nearly enough steel or rubber. I currently reject that I think it's wrong that I don't have enough steel. Because one, of course, is this stupid ahistorical Norway declaring war on me. But even if we don't take that into account, even if that's somehow sort of legitimate, let's just say, it was only during winter that the steel was only able to effectively be able to shipped out through Narvik. You could get in summertime, you can get to steel out of Sweden just fine. Oh, this is just silly. I hate having to try to solve problems like this. Yes, okay, so we'll get the factories going here. Not that we can use them. I feel like I'm solving a problem that shouldn't exist. It's how I'm feeling with all of this. Not that I'm like with the rubber. I'm feeling it's a very real historical problem that should exist. So that's sort of a different matter. Mines for production, none are being done because we don't have enough steel. Okay, well, changing tasking now that the Soviets have taken over up here.
Ihre Befehle? Ausrücken! Ausrücken! Achtung! Bereit zum Ausrücken! Befehle? Achtung! Bereit! Zuhören!
Hello, Irish. How you doing today? What decision should I, can I do? Don't know why. Maybe this is what I need to do to get the SS, Waffen SS. Okay, here, recruit. Yep, that's apparently what I needed to do. Active Waffen SS. Campaign, alright, okay. Okay, so we have those. Done that before, probably. Have the ability to, okay. Only thing we're currently lacking is, well, it's the iron to make the steel and the rubber. So we are dealing with this now. In a meeting with Adolf Hitler today, members of high-ranking Wehrmacht officers over Oberkommando de Wehrmacht have voiced their concerns about what they term political favoritism on behalf of the SS. In particular, they are watching developments of parallel armed forces in that. With deep worry, lavishly equipped SS divisions, their augment continues, only take away desperately needed resources from the regular army. Finally, could lead to separate command structures leading inferior political as unbecoming German officers assure them to do final command of all SS forces. Okay. A little bit of talk here. First question is, why the hell do they have a picture of Ribbentrop here? I mean, come on, guys. Get a coherent picture that matches the event. You know. Okay. Well, there were concerns between particularly the army. I don't know whether it would be Oberkommando de Wehrmacht or whether it was the Oberkommando de Heers. Heers is army, Wehrmacht is armed forces, which includes the Navy and the Luftwaffe, which had two other parallel command structures, obviously. There was concern over the Waffen SS on a couple of areas. A big concern was hello, Doric. No, this is not multiplayer. I'm not doing multiplayer, doing single player right now. You can join us tomorrow for War Thunder. We play as a group then for sure. But you can check out that tomorrow, Sunday, about this time. We'll be playing, but not Hearts of Iron right now. Thanks. Don't know if Arno's around yet to put links up to the Discord. Probably not yet. All right. Back onto the topic of the Waffen SS, which is different than the SS. Well, it's a subsection of the SS. Not different than, but it's a subsection. They were concerned about manpower. The army needs manpower. The army already is competing with the Navy and the Luftwaffe. The Kriegsmarine and the Luftwaffe, to use those cool terms. And and they realize that, I mean, that's a serious concern. There's a less serious concern of, I don't know, jealousy of a competing armed force. It does exist, but I really don't think, no matter what may have been said, I really don't think the army, the Heers, at this point in 1940, really thinks the Waffen-SS with its, well, let's see, what is it, 3 divisions right now at well, let's see. Okay, so they have Das Reich at this point, or yeah, Das Reich I think is formed, or the Vergentruppen or whatever, Vergentruppen may have been renamed Das Reich, Totenkopf, I think Polizei, which may not even be technically an SS division. So those are 3 divisions, plus Leibstandarte, which was just a regiment officially at this point, probably a bit bigger than a regiment, but that is it. We're talking max sort of 4 divisions. So that's not a something that is going to compete heavily with the army at this point. Now later on, obviously the Waffen-SS gets bigger, but what happens at this point and leading up to this point, because this could have happened a little earlier. One, the army was assured and given command of the Waffen-SS as a field formation, meaning how it was going to be operated in combat. It was given over to the army. Now, also I want to say on manpower, because there was also, which is criminally, in my opinion, or I don't know if criminal would be the best, or and I've only been, because I can only find a few books on it, but what's the word I'm looking, incompetently overlooked is the SA. It is a major force at this time period. It is huge. Now, unlike the Waffen-SS, the SA members are directly drafted, or they can volunteer into the army. So that's often why it is overlooked, but it did provide units, direct combat units, for the invasion of Poland. These were units from the SA units that were set up and formed as Sudeten, in the Sudetenland. The Germans set up a sort of secret army that was trained inside of Germany, that was set up to sort of be a guerrilla type force in the Sudetenland, mostly as a provocation for the Czechs to do something. So they were trained and equipped, and they had much better unit training, and so and were equipped with Czech weapons. So a few Standarten were used in the Polish campaign as combat troops, and they were definitely used as rear area and occupation type forces as well, and they continue on it. So that's also a distinct manpower draw as well, but not as set up differently. So back to the Waffen-SS. The army was assured and given for field commands, it was going to be under army control. Now the Waffen-SS was still going to control all of its own things internally, meaning who gets promoted, who gets to command, whether it's a battalion, a division, or whatever, that was going to be up to the Waffen-SS. The training was going to be up to the Waffen-SS for the large part. And so they were going to run themselves internally, and if there was any quote-unquote political actions that they needed to have done, How did we get? Oh, yeah. Um, any political, although okay, yeah, any political actions that need to happen, those are going to be under Himmler and Reinhard Heydrich and whoever. But as a combat units on the front line, they were going to be directly under the command of the army. So you have the army and I forget whether it was like Guderian or Monstein's book that I was reading years and years ago, but was given command of, I think it was Totenkopf division as part of the force, and they didn't even know what this formation was. I mean, yeah, they were told it was a division of armed SS people, but it was, what were these people? Not whether they were a division of guys standing around with rifles and stuff. I think they were even sort of surprised to find out that they were fully motorized. And such. So, they didn't know if they were going to be any good. Now, as the war goes on, obviously, yes, they learn a lot more about them. But so it was this sort of foreign element brought under their command. And the Waffen-SS was not starting out as some sort of super elite great combat unit. They had high casualties, particularly high casualties in officers. Some want to go, it's lead from the front, so the officer was going to front. Yeah, but it was also a lot of stupid mistakes. They were highly motivated, but only marginally trained and had, for the most part, very little combat experience. I say for the most part because you have like Hausa and others that were relatively high ranking, and majors, colonels, whatever, from the army that had been in World War I and transferred over to the Waffen or to the SS, and later the Waffen-SS as it's being formed. So you do have some people in there that are based in the army. So, number one, they were given command, or the command of the units were given over to the army. And two, they were limited in the amount of German, so they could recruit German nationals. So that they would not be too big of a manpower draw from the army, so the Waffen-SS was primarily a volunteer force, and I could get into the weeds, and it's drawing maybe not necessarily voluntarily, but already members of the SS into it at points, and because of this, the Waffen-SS at various stages, and could almost to the point always have manpower problems, so they very early start doing foreign recruitment, including some of the earliest, I believe, some of it may literally predate the war, but some of the significant one was like when they were traveling through Hungary to get down to Greece. One or more of the Waffen-SS units recruited a bunch of ethnic Germans, like, oh, yeah, you want to join? Sure, come on, without asking Hungary permission to recruit nationals of their, because these were Germans with, born and lived in Hungarian territory, whether, maybe born under the Austro-Hungarian Empire, but were not German citizens. So that is why eventually, and so it starts out with being ethnic Germans in other countries, and particularly volunteers from such nations as like Norway and Sweden and Denmark, but then into quote unquote foreign legions as they come about to increase their manpower. So there's that. So we're going to go which way I presume this is becomes more angry, becomes slightly more angry and loses political power. So I think they may be overplaying the amount of dissatisfaction. Now,
Achtung!
okay.
Angetreten! Befehle!
Here's
Achtung!
okay. Here's what I have conflicts, and I've been having these with Hearts of Iron 3's current Black Ice developers, not with the original ones, but the current ones, is that they don't seem to want to magically give equipment to units like this. They want to give me this unit that's empty. Okay. Why is this wrong? Now this is why this is wrong. Yes, in reality, in the real world, all trucks and all rifles have to be made. You have to go make them, They don't just magically appear out of the air. Now, should they magically appear out of the air in a game like this? I would say yes. And why would you magically appear things out of the air? Well,
Bereit zum Ausrücken!
Totenkopf division. I know I was talking about here, but one of them, no, I think it was the Vergen troops that were fully motorized at the time. But Germany has lots and lots of weapons. And I don't think this game or this mod fully represents just how many weapons Germany has. And that they, and particularly at the beginning of the war, before the war, excuse me, they're not fully utilizing the potential of production. So at this time, well, except for this unit here, these divisions and brigade here, regiment, whatever, were equipped outside of military lines. Particularly, I know Totenkopf really is properly motorized only after France. Now you could go and say, well, hey, you already have a mechanic in the game and you capture trucks. Okay. Now we do have a positive benefit of trucks. Can we see what they are? Between from foreign equipment. Okay, we can't. We can see foreign equipment. I know from production. Okay, yeah, and so we do have plenty of trucks now. But to my knowledge, the best of my knowledge, some of the trucks that Totenkopf gets are captured from French military sources, right? Some are captured because, hey, there's a truck over there parked there. We like that truck. We're going to take that truck. And it could be any sort of civilian truck. So when you create a mod like this, here's Totenkopf. So when you create a mod like this, you sort of go, okay, well, we know that they are equipped with scrounged up equipment not conventionally normally found on the battlefield. So it's outside the realm. We also know that a lot of the equipment that was made and used was not standard and we're already in production. So I would give them the equipment. But that doesn't mean endlessly and in all occasions, but sort of at the start I would, because they were from outside the procurement system. Hello, MNDB, how you doing? Good to have you here. So I don't know. I would say that these should get magically equipped on their own, but that's just me. Okay, let's give them a commander. Okay, there's Kruger. Okay, I saw Kruger. Hello, Dimitri. How you doing? Hope you're well in Russia. I hope things are well in Ukraine. I know it's a tough time for both peoples. And yes, I do fully support Ukraine in the war, but that doesn't mean Russian peoples are bad. It just means I support Ukraine. Yeah, well. Yeah, where's Hauser? Where's Hauser? You east up to here.
Bereit zum Ausrücken. Achtung! Ausrücken! Bereit zum Ausrücken. Ihre Befehle? Bereit? Ausrücken! Bereit.
YouTube not banned. Well, there is something called a VPN out there. I believe, I don't have any way of confirming it, but it's been a few years, but had one guy who posted several times on some of my stuff. He was watching from Iran and really liked my videos. And I know YouTube is banned in Iran, but there's ways around it, and I know YouTube is also banned in China and mainland China, and one of the people who was watching my channel was a Chinese police officer who probably wasn't a very nice guy. Dimitri, I know, and I don't think, I don't know how many, I don't know the percentage of people in Russia that support the invasion. And look, I know there's ethnic Russians in Ukraine, and I know there's issues. I still support Ukraine. That doesn't mean I don't understand the issues. But I got a friend who lives in Sochi, and I haven't heard from him since the invasion started. Not in the military, unless he's been drafted or something. But yeah, so I don't think he's in any sort of danger. Just cut off, and I haven't been hearing from him. And years ago, I knew he wasn't a fan of Putin. So yeah, I know that there are quite a few people like that aren't a fan of the war, and so that's why I didn't say anything. I just, because people hear it, even if they just hear me say, well, hope you're well in Russia. If you think, people might think that, yeah, you're some sort of Putin supporter. No, I'm not, and I don't think Russians necessarily just because they are, And then of course there are also the Russians that get their information only from Russian state sources, and they believe, and so that what they're being, they believe what they're being told, so they support it, just because that's what they hear and what they know, and I know that's a thing too. I do understand that as well. So yeah. I do get it. And so for all of you watching out there, and there, someone was talking about Subway, the sandwich maker chain. I know supposedly McDonald's has shut down their McDonald's, but still paying its employees. Someone was complaining that the Subways, which are really sort of a franchise in that most of the shops are owned, either one person, owns a single shop or may owns 4 or 5 shops, and it's a subsidiary kind of situation. And they're not shutting them down, And somehow, we should boycott Subway out here. Well, they're subsidiaries out here, so it's the Subway owner and, local sandwich shop owner in England has nothing to do with what's going on. You're only going to hurt them. And so we have to remember, and this is an important thing to remember here. The Opel Blitz, sort of, and it's used here iconically as the main German truck, and I think it was the most produced truck for Germany's military during World War II, was the Opel Blitz. Okay? Do you know, and I know I've mentioned this before, so if you're around, you probably do, but Opel was a wholly owned, meaning entirely owned, by a foreign company, not German owned. There was, to the best of my knowledge, no German ownership of Opel. Who was the owner of Opel? General Motors of the United States. Okay. Ford also had a couple of factories, major manufacturers. One in Cologne, however you want to pronounce it, right here, and maybe another one up in Berlin. And they made trucks too for the German army. Now, so was GM making money selling trucks to the German army while the German army was fighting America? No, it wasn't. It made money from Opel Blitz prior to the war starting, for sure, because every truck they sold, whether to the German army or to the civilian population, they got paid for. What happened once the war started? Well, maybe early in the war when they're fighting the British, they still got paid for their trucks. When I don't know all the nitty gritty details. But basically what happens is they go to war with America and Germany go to war, and nothing changes. They keep making trucks. Germany keeps paying Opel Blitz for the trucks because like I just learned, and I didn't realize this, the German submachine gun known as the MP-41, and I did know they made a bunch of them, but I didn't know that why they specifically stopped them, and why they stopped making them is because they were made by Schmeitzer or Henkel, which Hugo Schmeitzer worked for, and it was sort of a combination of an MP40 and a Schmeitzer design put together. And oh boy, I'm blanking on the maker of the MP40, which was not Henkel, it was blanking on it, whatever, doesn't matter, sued the other company and got them to stop making them. So there was actually a productive submachine gun for the war, that there was a lawsuit internally in Germany. This I find ridiculous. So they stopped manufacturing these other submachine guns that Germany needed because of a fucking lawsuit. Now what happens in the US in similar cases is you had a patent on making a gun, a rifle, whatever there. Somebody else wants to make it, fine, go ahead. You actually help them to set up production lines to make the copies from your company. Now you did, and normally get a percentage of the sales. So you made a little bit off of the sales. They were selling it to the government, but like Singer sewing machines started making Colt 1911 pistols. Because they have manufacturing capabilities, they start making 1911 pistols, selling them to the government. I'm sure Colt gets, a percentage of the profit, but that's it. Everybody gets to make them. But yeah, Hennel gets sued, so they shut down production of the MP41, just as sort of an aside. So Germany is paying Opel, meaning GM, for all the trucks that they're doing. Well, Opel, the subsidiary company, has been put, once the war sort of going on, not nationalized as in Germany takes it over. Germany does take over some companies. Normally it's under the that's under Gustloff. Was sort of the company that really handled a lot of the nationalized companies, Gustloff. And so various companies were, like Simpson and Co., were put on, name was changed once and then changed to Gustloff, the German that was assassinated in Switzerland, and they named that cruise liner after him and other things. That's normally the main company that when they nationalize some other company, put it under government ownership, it normally goes into that consortium. Or it's a Hermann Goering Werk company. But no, they don't nationalize Opel, but they put it under government control, meaning they're ordered to make trucks. But they're still paid for all the trucks. They're still at a sort of profitable market. And of course, the local company pays its workers, pays for its resources that it gets. It's steel, it's rubber, whatever. And the rest goes into a bank account. All saved up for after the war for GM to make all kinds of money off of those Reichsmarks that become worthless. So they get bank accounts with nothing in them, basically. Oh, billions of Reichsmarks that we could go have a bonfire with. Yay. And, oh, hey, the factories are, well, at least I know Ford factory is bombed. Significant damage, though I still think in production when the American, or still roll into Cologne. But yeah, I think they're bombed. So even if it's a working factory, they really don't really profit much out of it, if at all. So yeah, some of these companies that have subsidiaries in Russia, with the banking restrictions and the plummeting ruble, I don't think they're making much money out of doing business in Russia. It's just, and there's no reason. Yeah, Dimitri, there's no Liechtenstein, there's no Andorra, there's wherever San Marino is in Italy, there's no Monaco, right in here, I guess. Yeah. I think about the smallest is Luxembourg here, country. I don't know if there's, they don't even have Tangiers, which was a micro-state down here. And they did have Danzig as a micro-state in this mod. So yeah, all this boycotting, I understand the financial sanctions against Russia. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about all this sort of boycotting of small companies and BS like that. We have, let's see, how many days? Okay, we got, what, about 32 days, 30 some days before we can invade Norway. King Carol II abdicates in Romania. Italy, yes, Italy gave us a bunch of forces. Could we go down to here? Okay, let's take a look at the naval map. Okay, it looks like we're doing okay here, so let's look at the supply situation. What does this mean here? barely holding out, or not really holding out much into Tobruk. So what we're going to do is we're going to
Befehle.
tip these guys down to Benghazi. We're going to risk, let me save it before we risk the too bad. Okay, and actually, we're going to keep the live stream going, don't worry, guys. But we're going to end this episode, so all of you watching later on YouTube, thanks so much for watching. If hopefully I've earned your subscription or you hitting the like button as well, really do appreciate it. See you next time for even more, yes, more Hearts of Iron. Yeah, don't worry, we're going to keep going. You just want to chop these up into episodes. We have,
Angetreten.
I know we were given some Italian divisions as, oh, they're sitting down here. Okay, I didn't realize they gave me divisions that are sitting down here. Wow, okay. Let's put them under a commander, call him, I don't know, Rom, because he can, no. Okay, cancel this. Unassign all these divisions, right.
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
I'm going to just put them under Rommel directly. Okay, so now they're under Rommel directly. We are having a bit of a supply problem. But let's send them up to there. He's sort of holding poorly there. Okay, but I don't want to, really don't want to lose Tobruk as a supply source.
Befehle.
Okay, you come down to here. We're going to send you to Albania for possible use there.
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
It's lost. Tobruk didn't want that to happen. They were integrating Romania. Okay, good guys. Okay, let's see. Let's start out with
Ihre Befehle.
some armor divisions. I know I've just increased the supply strain here, but let's head up north this way with those.
Zum Ausrücken.
These two, let's head out this way. And we'll keep,
Bereit zum
we'll
Ausrücken.
move the motorized force there. We'll keep the rest back holding Benghazi. What national focuses should we be doing then? Second Vienna Awards. Probably. Prepare Barbarossa. Not ready to do that. Lebensraum. That we need to do for Barbarossa, but bases in France. Naval bases. Okay, that looks good. Well, I should start recording the next episode before I go too much further or I'll forget. I know I sort of like to prepare things a little bit beforehand, but... Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer1745 here with my continual playthrough of Hearts of Iron 4's World Ablaze mod, which I think is rather good, but you'll hear me bitch and moan about it still anyways, because it's not perfect. Okay. Unlocks, reduce economy fatigue. I like that. We're going to do reduce economic fatigue. We are currently, let's see, at economic fatigue of 62%. Crumbling economy. That ain't good. So let's do this. I think the developer's been watching too much TIK. Good guy, but good. Where they're going to, let's send up a armored unit there as well. Oh, my flank turned. Nice, fine. Well, yes. Can we trade for any more iron? Effectively. Oh, that's from Turkey. Hopefully that comes. Yeah, I guess it comes overland. Good. Hello, Arno. Good to have you here, my friend. How have you been? And good to have you over there as well. Okay, we're at September 1940. Oh, we've got a railway gun. First railway gun. Completed. Exploitation of acquired resources. So let's see. Economic fatigue. I thought it was going to go down. Maybe there's going to be an event or something. I don't know. We don't have the 100,000. Whatever. Yeah. Okay. Just bomb the national. We've already taken the national line, Arno. We already own Amsterdam. I know you just want to bomb Amsterdam just to bomb Amsterdam, but think we'll do the bases in France. 42 days or 28 days Atlantic Wall. We need that just yet. We'll do the Second Vienna Awards. I'm not okay. Manpower, Transylvania, majority slightly or rightly belongs to our friends Hungary. However, it's hard to say how this will react. Okay, I think we'll do that. Just be historical about it. Doesn't matter. I'm both anyways. Well, I don't know why they've withdrawn. Is it because of lack of supplies, maybe? They've withdrawn so much of their forces. Or is it because I sent my forces in, so they pulled theirs out to keep, again, from being too little supplied? Okay, that didn't work. Wow, they're running away very quickly. Okay, well, what I should also be doing here is coming up here. Okay, well, they're bombing over, they're fighting over here. Okay. God, I hate this. I wish I could just like go, hey, yeah, you guys fight, you know, anywhere you want in here to go after the enemy. Don't have to micromanage which air zone they fight in. Just tell me, I just want to tell them where to base. Where's an air base? Okay, there's an air base here. There's an air base. Yeah, I think it's probably like football rivalries and other sorts of fun times that they have with hating each other. But I'm not sure. Okay, well, let's send you down to here. I think we'll be able to supply you better there. Down to there. Yeah. Well, let's... You don't hardly really exist anymore. Disband them, or probably. Hello, Extreme Finger. How you doing? Yeah, well, I like the idea of basing. What I don't like is having to, is it flying, you know, if I send them to this base here, I want them, because we can see their operational range, I want them to intercept anything freaking in this operational range if I'm telling them to go after whatever. I don't want to have to tell them this air zone or this air zone or this air zone. And so this way, because if I don't pay close attention to it, they'll just, you know, if I put all my fighters up over the, you know, the, Benelux region, and then the AI moves, well, oh, hey, we're getting too much opposition, let's bomb over here, then they'll just switch over here and I'll have to realize that and change it. So I don't like running around. Hey, Ari, how you doing? I just don't like that part of it. I want to base them, tell them what, you know, areas to fight on, Telegram arrives from Prince Paul to E. Berlin today, expressing interest in signing a pact of non-aggression. We have other plans, I think. Oh, okay, cool. Doesn't look like Rome was getting much headway against the British here. Okay, well. British operative captured, though I don't think I've had any spies, so. And now Rome at least has air cover, but isn't going to win that battle, I can tell that. Okay, you guys go into the breach. Logistically striking my trains. Yeah, it is bad up here. Okay, second be any. Now I think we'll do bases in France. Okay, how are we doing for time? Are we ready for our invasion? Almost 2 more days. Hubs and rails and your allies. Okay, well, can I build rails here? Yes, it looks like maybe. No. Nope, I guess I can't. Can I build railway? Must start supply node or another railway. No. Okay, well, I guess a no. Okay, let's stop that. Okay, can I build? Okay, I'm gonna build there, I guess. Here. For the territory to Bulgaria if they want to. Yeah, so that will get Bulgaria in as a nice ally. And there really wasn't much down here for them in the way of anything like industry or manpower. Maybe I just have this playthrough been ignoring spies and spying and all that. Okay, you support the attack. Okay, well, now that we have successfully failed that attack, and they've got a bulge into our rear,
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
let's close that up. Let's fall back here. And build more submarines. Oh, we have more iron now, so let's see if we can activate. Okay, well, we could exploit some of this stuff here. Okay, well, activate core steel mill. Good. Okay, let's see here. Exploitation of Poland. Okay, 5%. Okay, let's do France. Let's do France. Yeah, well, we may fall back. Getting ready, though. I hope to be able to launch. Let's look at our naval control. Okay, all green. If we can successfully invade there. Well, you know what we should also see about doing is send some air power up. Should have already done that. See now, okay. Yeah, I know I'm not making enough fighters for this mod.
Angetreten.
Maybe I should get some of these repaired. As well, though, let's move you back to the top here. And of course, we should do some more submarine switching out here. Now let's change all the deployments now to Orient here. Here we go, and now it says we have plenty of iron. Not quite sure why. Don't know if it was from that exploit France thing or something else, but okay. Reactivate more coal, core steel. Still, of course, we're low on rubber production. I don't know that they're up to date, Arno. We can take a quick look over here. I am right now researching the Type 9D. This is the Type 9A class. The only other real things we have are some of the torpedo or fuel tanks and a few things, but they're mostly fixed at sort of their capabilities, I think. Yeah, well, that's sort of what I'm doing here is by going through. I just did exploiting France, and that helped. I just disagree with his logic or his basis for all of this. Well, now I have. Was it just the economic fatigue that was messing this up? I don't know. Okay, have we succeeded in our invasion? Yes. Okay, good. We've succeeded in our invasion.
Bereit zum Ausrücken. Ihre Befehle. Ihre Befehle. Bereit zum Ausrücken.
There we go. First out of your landing zone. And let's send in the panzers. I know there's not maybe great supply, but let's go.
Achtung! Bereit!
Where are these? Oh, they're over here. Okay. Who else come up here? You go over to Albania.
Angetreten! Angetreten! Ausrücken! Achtung! Ausrücken! Achtung! Befehle?
I don't want. Oh, damn! I keep forgetting to turn this goddamn crap off. I hate this. Okay, delete orders. Yeah. I want to micromanage it. I don't want this stupid commander doing very bad things. Like he was going back and going to no, come. Going to go when you should be moving towards Oslo. I mean, how bad are you, AI? You stop, you come up today. This is simulation still, Crunchy. Yeah, still simulation. Nice joke, of course. With what's going on in the world, you might wonder at times. I get that. Yeah, well, we're moving in that direction. Okay, well, at least I stopped running supplies to Western France. That's good.
Befehle? Bereit zum Ausrücken.
We're capturing Soviet operatives. Nice, I guess.
Angetreten.
Excavation finished. Very good. Well, the spying is an act of war. No, it isn't an act of war. Spying happens all the time. Let's do this one.
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
Let's grab 3 panzer divisions and head up towards Lillehammer. Let's grab the other 2, head this way, up that valley. All these guys go into Oslo, and these guys can support that attack. And these guys can push there. And these guys can start marching down the mountain. What was our airport doing? See, so this is just what I'm complaining about. We're still sort of Western Germany. And so it becomes this sort of whack-a-mole game here. But I gotta chase them around to where it is, as opposed to just say, hey, base out of some, you know, particular air base, go after the enemy aircraft that you spot.
Ausrücken. Ihre Befehle. Zuhören. Ihre Befehle. Achtung.
Yeah, probably the building more AA. I just have such a limitation. I was told at the beginning of the series that about 200 military ICs were needed, or what you should have at the start of the war. Now we have too much steel. Okay. So I focused heavily on that. I don't know if too heavily on it or not. Let's 2%. Well, 2% is 2%. Let's go for 2% economic fatigue reduction. Okay, well, let's see. We have a bunch of unused ICs. What do we need? What do we need? Okay. Tactical bombers. We could probably use, well, we have an excess of fighters, but we could use more tactical bombers. Now, we are currently having a bit of a problem with rubber, which is somewhat used in tactical bombers, but as we can see here, 4. Well, rubber 2. What doesn't use rubber that we could? Tanks are not using rubber. Trucks definitely using rubber, of course. What are we doing for artillery? Quite a bit. Well, you know, I think fighters is what's needed here. I know we don't have all the rubber we need for it. Yeah. Oh, rubber. More aluminum. What do we just want to do? We got plenty of bauxite, so what we should do here is reactivate core aluminum smelter. Good thing, Ari. Thanks for hanging out while you could. Yeah, we could upgrade the anti-aircraft guns. I think we're gonna have to wait to naval invade after we get Greece and whatnot. Ari, if you're still around. Here we go. Well, Since, let's see, yes, we could. Let's do the 20mm flat gun. Here's medicine. Yeah, let's read a bit about manpower. The trickleback's nice, better trickleback.
Befehle!
You march up and take there just to secure the railway links.
Zuhören!
Where's their capital now?
Ausrücken!
Trondheim or Bergen or somewhere? I don't know.
Achtung!
Is it all the way up to Narvik? I gotta march all the way up there.
Angetreten!
Drive to there.
Achtung!
Drive to there.
Zuhören!
Bases in France, very nice. It wouldn't be a bad thing. Yeah, we'll do that just for the fun of it. Okay, should we now? Let's take a look at it. Where are we? Okay. Yeah, we probably should just upgrade our. And we could upgrade these guys to here. Since we're not producing any, might as well get them upgraded to when we actually can produce them. Not upgrading the trains engines. I'm not planning on doing that. No. Okay, this is what I want to. Okay, medium tanks. Well, we need more medium tanks in production, so we won't convert over more divisions just yet to that.
Auf geht's! Zuhören! Angetreten!
Now the time of year all Norwegians love. Winter, that's their favorite time of year, I gather. They like it when it's cold.
Zuhören!
Covered in snow.
Bereit zum Ausrücken! Angetreten! Ausrücken! Befehle!
Well, I think we're going to end the episode here. There's not but winter. Yes, up in Norway, it always seems winter there. We're going to end the episode here. I want to thank everyone for hanging out with me this far. See you next time for even more, yes, more Hearts of Iron. Okay, we're going to keep playing here, everyone. Don't worry. I'm just chopping this up to segments if you're for the later viewing on YouTube. Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing playthrough of, yes, of Hearts of Iron's 4's World Ablaze. Sounds too apt of a title right now, but yeah, we are dealing with all of this here.
Zum Ausrücken. Angetreten. Auf geht's.
What I really want to do is binaries, but see, right now we need 48 more rubber, and this gives us current gain bonus. What is it? 4. So that's 10, 12 more of these. Wow. Okay. Let's stick to core territories. Let's come somewhat east back here. Doing production. Okay, Norway succumbed to our encouragement to join the Greater Reich. We'll get 41 civilian trains, 5,000 rifles. Hey Eric, what is a 1934 SR-06 rifle? That's something you've ever heard of, Eric? Or the 1938 G7 SMG? I didn't know Norway had any submachine guns. And 3,500 other stuff. Support equipment. Oh, some 1940 SR-08-2 rifles and submachine guns. I'm thinking this is just a bunch of BS. 38 trucks, 15,000 fuel. Okay. Okay, and we did that without any using the mountain divisions, which of course were what was there originally, but you guys head up there now because we're gonna, I guess, send you up there and get our Panzer divisions back. Let's look at resources up here. Okay, aluminum, chromium, which is nice, more iron and tungsten, nice. But not anymore. Well, now we have an excess of iron and steel. So what I want to do is come over here. Let's first get rid of that. Get rid of that. And not get rid of too much of that, but just some of that to start with. Yeah, I didn't think so. I just wondered. He's, of course, the Norwegian expert on small arms. Before I... those weapons might exist as some named weapon in some country. You know, I don't know. And just, you know, copy and paste and not taking enough time to do it. Now, I understand, you know, look, I'm not sure whether that is a modded weapon, but I think it is because of the way they're doing their small arms here with the machine guns, rifles combo. So I think it's modded. They may exist in some country, and like I say, just copy and paste because... yeah, it's a lot of effort to go do Norway, Sweden, Finland, Denmark, you know, blah, 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 blah. What I honestly object to is not that the names don't match, whatever the historical realities might be. And I get the idea. Okay, yeah, okay, here's what I object to. Again, totally not objecting to the idea that they're not the historical flavor names. Here is the problem here. And yes, it is a problem. Okay. This is the Gewehr 98 plus MP 18. Pre-war weapons. Okay. Now, can I... okay, I'm going to presume, I know that isn't always the best thing to do, but I'm going to presume that this tree here, this part of this tree, is the same for all nations. Okay, and just changing for, I'm going to presume it. Someone can correct me if they know that I'm wrong, either now in chat or later on. No, or later on below on YouTube. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to presume for the moment that this part of the tree here is the same for all nations. I know that these are specific models of panzers that aren't the same for all nations. This is specifically done for Germany. I'm going to presume these infantry weapons are all the same for all the nations. And just changing, flavor names and pictures. Why is this a bad thing? What they're currently doing here? Well, this is the Gewehr 98 plus MP18. Yeah, okay, both World War I weapons. Is the Gewehr 98 is standard German use at the beginning of World War I. The MP18 is coming in just at the end of World War I. But okay, that's good. And you can go, and I know this is coming off of dealing with Norway and their use of Krag Jorgensen rifles. Through to the end of the existence of the Norwegian army in 1940. Well, Norway had no submachine guns as far as I know. So why would you make them? And I'm presuming, and at this scale, yeah, it's not really worth. Is the Gewehr 98 better than the Krag Jorgensen? Yes, it is. I could argue, and I know even Eric would agree with me, though. You can love something and not because it's the best, just because you love it because it's cool, or even because it's not the best, you can love it, or other reasons, And he loves the Krag Jorgensen, but the Gewehr 98 is a better rifle. But really, at this scale, I don't know that it makes any difference. But it does. The MP18 does make a difference, okay? It makes a significant difference. So why don't they have... So if we just have Gewehr 98s plus MP18s, then whatever the hell Afghan troops are equipped with at the minimum level is equally the same. And it wouldn't have been. And again, but they didn't fight in Afghanistan, blah, blah, blah. But they did fight against Norway, and Norway had no submachine guns, as far as I know, of any number. And I'm not talking about was there somebody designing one or whatever, but there were none put into production. Okay, so you should have a weapon setup, and I know you can talk, this is flavor. Okay, fine, this is flavor, but you should have, this is Germany. Yeah, they did not, you're right, Toyjet, but thanks for the confirmation. This is the minimum standard. Well, Germany's minimum standard at the end of World War I is better than significantly by the addition of the MP18 submachine guns, is better than the minimum standard in Norway. Okay, so you should have a more minimum standard than what we're having here. And well, most nations, had a World War I era heavy machine gun, and we could argue MG08 is a great gun. The Devil's Paintbrush, as it's sometimes called, is a great gun. It is a bit heavy. The only thing that is, the only two of them, I think, and I don't know the exact weight, but in this mounting, definitely able was the Vickers machine gun, which is basically a Maxim with the action sort of turned upside down internally, which make able to build the gun a little bit lighter. And of course, their tripod is lighter than this quad pod that was quite heavy. And the Browning 1917 machine gun, water-cooled machine gun, that also its mounting is lighter. I'm not absolutely certain, but probably also lighter in actual gun weight, but very similar guns. And the 1910 Russian Maxim was heavier, very much so in its wheeled mounting, but it sort of made up for it in that it had a wheeled mounting. You can go to lighter weight than the Hotchkiss guns, and so yeah, okay, you're not going to get a whole lot more, a lot of differences between them at sort of a strategic level. So I sort of get basic heavy water-cooled machine gun as sort of standard minimum. Got a bunch of them. Fine with that. Also, no hand grenades. Thank you, Toyjet. I did not know that Norway did not have hand grenades. So that is another tactical. See, I literally did not know that until Toyjet just bring it up there now. So whether you want to, this is Stalin hand grenade M43. So what I look for and what I want as a player of a game like this is for Norway to be equipped like Norway was in 1936 and 1940. Obviously, beyond 1940, we go into what-if territories. But up until 1940, I want Norway to be equipped with what it was. Now, if it's if it's AI. If it's AI controlled, I want it to follow a national focus tree that would do, this is the generic one, okay, but I would want it to follow one that would do a historical basic national focus tree. I would want it to have a historical equipment. I would want it to have historical orders of battles for divisions. I wanted to have the historical size of the army with maybe the potential for, it's calling out its reserves. I want all that historical if it's the AI. And then I want, if a player is going to play the country, I want the player to be able to make plausible alternate choices. Like, what if you're going to build an armored force and have Norwegian tanks? And that's sort of a nod to Eric. So yeah, what if you're going to do that? Or what if you're going to build all submarines and no ships to sort of, sink anything trying to invade Norway? Or, what ifs that are plausible, that are possible, for the human player to make changes. But I want the AI to go down the historical path on things like that. And so yes, this is, and I know I'm repeating myself because you sort of have to on the internet. This is just flavor, but you need a minimum below this for, nations like Norway, like Denmark, and that they would, and I know the Netherlands, they were stuck with also pre-World War I rifles up and through, I'm forgetting, what were they, Arno? What were the rifles of, were they, the Austrian rifles? I forget what rifles the Netherlands had, but they were pre-World War I rifles. Yeah, Mannlichers, that's right. Thank you. M95. Thank you, Arno. And so they're stuck with these early stuff as well. So they don't have a lot of modern stuff. That is partially why Germany is so victorious, because they have a lot of modern equipment, in fairly large numbers, and can do so fairly effectively. So you need that kind of stuff, whether you're making a mod or whether you're making the game. And then you add the flavor elements, but just simply on the power levels of the equipment. The carbines we made and the rifles were of older age and converted to at least 5 types of carbines. Oh, absolutely. I've watched this Sea and Arsenal's really good, really great channel on World War I weaponry. They're expanding into other areas now, but they covered the Dutch use of the various carbine Mannlichers and various versions, mainly for use down in the Dutch East Indies, and various upgrade stuff of all different types. So they were, having a lot of activities, sometimes combat, and otherwise trying to control their empire out here as well. So there was an imperial reason to do that. But so that's just to show the relative, because even if you just scrubbed away all of the flavor and just go pre-World War I rifle, World War I rifle with submachine gun, you know, pre-World War One or World War II rifle with, you know, early submachine gun. You know, just even if you do this, now we're getting to the Gewehr 41, which the Germans moderate amounts of them. Mostly large trials amounts. The two models of Gewehr 41s, the Walter and the Mauser version. Now the Gewehr 43 in very large amounts, never catching up to the Karabiner 98 Kurz. You know, carbine 98 short. That's what all that means. And I don't know whether there was. I think there's more Gewehr 43s than MP 44 types. But you know, these were, you know, very, very modern. The U.S. obviously starts the war with M1 Garands. I mean, they have them, but a lot of like in the Philippines, I think there's very few M1 Garands. Think there may be some. Mostly Springfields are still issued out there. And then I would sort of categorize the M1 carbine as a assault rifle. The only thing it really doesn't do is go full auto, but I would categorize it as such, at least on this scale of a game, for this kind of fill-in. But also the Netherlands. Yeah, the Netherlands itself. But the reason they were messing around with all the different types of carbines was trying to use them out in the East Indies. East Indies was a mess of weapons-wise. We had Johnson rifles captured Italian. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. Out there. By the time the war is going on now, the Johnson rifles, those don't come about until after the start of the war. So don't know that you would. Yeah. I think the Johnson rifles were all in here. I think Arno. I don't know that any of them made it to the Dutch East Indies, but yeah, you had lots of captured stuff out there as well. So okay, so we're sort of occupying up to here. We've got these guys. Let's put them on trains and send them up to Narvik. I hate it. They gave the Johnson rifle to the Netherlands in game before. Yeah, I know, because it didn't exist. Did not exist. They sunk some of our ships out here. We are building some levels of replacements. Are we still sending stuff? No. Well, sort of. Yes. Okay. Well. Do we have more? Okay, between patrol aircraft. Okay. Tactical bombers is what we're sort of low on. Okay, patrol aircraft. You come up to here, and I don't want to deselect you. What I want to do is now we're going to send it there. I want it to patrol up here. Yeah. One tip to do is we're going to put another avoid if we can here. Run your supplies through Oslo. Come on, guys. That they're in such bad shape that they can't handle the... Yeah, it's damaged a little bit here. So let's get construction. Where's Oslo? Here. Probably way, way down here. I know we got so many things. A lot of them are from... Yeah, it's this Osland debt thingy. Okay. I saw it up here. Move you to the top. Get that fully repaired fast. Yeah, I know, Arno, but there probably isn't that big of a difference between the various versions of Mannlichers and the Enfields. At this game level, it would be if we were playing a tactical game, I would agree. Alliance with Finland. Okay, let's go for that. Sounds like a plan. Let's
Ihre Befehle?
deselect those. Let's select, so we're hopefully getting all of his forces. Come down to Oslo. And we'll get you out of here. I really wish I could control this more microly. Okay, well, now it's shifted a bit. Okay. We lost gain base war support 13%. Okay. Oh, well, that's better. And now we're just sending it into here, I guess. Well, this is happening. Yes, we're losing trains still. See, again, now I gotta go. Oh, hello. Now go out to here instead of over here. I know I'm bitching and moaning about things, but that's what I do, I guess. Oh, 500, 590, 480. Nope, not quite worth even at half to do this right now. That will help with construction. In fact, repair speed. That's helping there. Well, let's come over here. Let's do field hospital. That will be somewhat helpful there. Okay, we currently have excess fighters over our... So let's deploy another air wing here. You get here. Let's come out here. Gosh. Come out here and you deploy and you go after that. Oh, did I find these guys? You go after that there. Okay. So that should help a bit. Here. Up here and you go after fighters and bombers, yeah. Look at the Dutch tech tree. I don't know if I need to switch games for that. Let's just come... Well, I don't... Yeah, I may have to switch nations to see the tech tree. Yeah, I'll do it after this, after we conclude this episode, Arno. We're just sort of holding out in the desert here. I don't know that that's a good strategy. I guess it's a strategy I'm doing, but I thought it was moving another couple of divisions. Oh, that's coming into there. I think it's just generic with screwy names, you know. Okay, guys. You come home to Seton. There we go. There'll be less supply needs up there. I don't think we're going to be invaded anytime soon. Okay, now this is good. This is now supplying this well. Okay, you come to Trondheim. You come down to here. You come over to there. Guess it's a port up here. It's sort of the middle plains area. And you can come up to here. Alliance with Finland, very nice. Hopefully that'll work out well for us. No, we're not going to approach Turkey just yet. Captured equipment. Here? Don't use it. I don't normally look for this. Or no, if you can tell me how to find captured equipment quickly, I'll gladly look at it. Normally not something I bother with looking up. Hey, Beam Slam. Finland joins the Axis. Great, we have another nation that wants to be on the winning side, of course. You press a unit. Oh, yeah. Okay, I thought we used generally. Yeah, here we can see. What rifles are they using with Dutch symbols? I don't know. These guys have any Dutch rifles? Got French, got Czech.
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
They got American. Somehow they have American Pride Lend-Lease. To somebody. Don't know if being up here makes them any more likely to have Dutch weapons. Yeah, I got some Thompsons. I think some of the divisions that got sent out here have any identifiably Dutch. No. these are Hungarian. No, they just got Hungarian stuff. Let's look at recent build units. Well, we've got a lot of American stuff that around here. No, I don't see any Dutch stuff right offhand. So I don't know. Let's check out the Waffen SS units here. What did they equipped with? Yeah, some French rifles, some Citrons.
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
Moss 36s. Oh, and more Moss 36s.
Ausrücken.
Oh no, I didn't want you to move. Stay there. Well, the Republic of Finland changed the defense status. They're leaving the faction? Well, they just joined. That's sort of screwy. Why would they want to leave the faction? We're nice guys. Have some prejudice against Nazis or something? Yeah, well, guess we don't get to have Finland in. We're capturing these guys. These Soviet spies are just defecting because I have nobody out there trying to hunt them. They just don't like the Soviet Union. Defecting. That's all it is. Okay. Well, now that we have these guys out here, let's see. Where do we want to put them? We want to put them out. Well, okay. Convoy rating. Let's go mid-Atlantic. Can they get out there? Yes. Ah, captured when I do Lend-Lease. Let's okay, start Lend-Lease. Let's look here for no, somehow we have a bunch of Spanish weapons. Don't know how they got that. Portuguese, don't know how we captured Portuguese stuff. Austrian gem when we took over Austria. Czechoslovakia when we took over Czechoslovakia. Okay, here we go. This looks like the Dutch flag to me. Bergman MP28 machine guns. Heavy weapons 2, heavy weapons 3. There's those. Oh no, that's Luxembourg, I guess. A bunch of Browning machine guns. Okay, yeah, Johnson's. We got 14,000 Johnson M41 rifles, and then just heavy weapons. Yeah. Yeah, it's just your basic sort of stuff here, I guess. Here's those same things for Denmark. I guess it's just sort of a generic placeholder they're putting in. I haven't heard of them. What is our supply node? Yeah, mostly generic. And that part, yeah, I mean, it just, everybody, you know, knows it's flavor, and that's fine. Flavor's cool. And, you know, mod makers, how much detail are they going to put into flavor for every nation? Not that we wouldn't want more flavor for nations. It's just, you know, how much detail do you do it? And so I understand not. I was more bitching and moaning about, let's go down to just 100 imported. There we go. That'll be more civil factories. That should still give us an excess. Yes. I'm happy with an excess right now. Hello, Eric, again. Use some heavy anti-air. More anti-air production. Okay. Okay, passenger planes completed. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, it's the rubber that's mostly crippling now. We're going up in more and more needs of it. Or the Soviets are not supplying as much as they said they would. Improved medicine, very good. But I think we're going to end this episode here, not the live stream, but the episode. I want to thank you all for hanging out with me. I really do appreciate it. I want to thank everyone. And if you haven't already, please hit that like button. Even those live on YouTube can hit the like button. It helps out a little bit with YouTube. Do appreciate it all. See you next time for even more, yes, more Hearts of Iron. Okay, yeah, we're gonna make another episode here. And what's Eric saying? Good. I've been looking around, you know, for pictures of Boris soldiers holding Krags. So far, nothing. Yeah, I don't know how. I guess the one thing is that one general that you found. I'm forgetting, blanking on his name, that liked him. I think that he was photographed with one. Didn't you find that? But that's about it. Yeah, I don't. I just look for Bora pictures. I guess I was seeing the other day, just a day or two ago. I was seeing some photos, and I looked for Krags. I looked for Krags, but I was noticing most of them didn't even have multi-shot rifles. It looked like they were single-shot rifles. Pretty big ammo too. So I think, you know, black powder metallic cartridges. Maybe some of them were two magazines, but they weren't the, you know, sort of fancy Mausers that we would think of a lot with them. So yeah, Smuts. Yeah, that's right, Smuts. Not Jan Smuts, but his brother or cousin or whatever. I think that, I don't know if that's going to be your only look at it, but that would at least be a good one. But just keep digging, keep looking. Yeah, post in forums or something in South Africa. I don't know. Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here. And we have a bit of a stalemate out in the western desert. Looks like we're holding the line sufficiently, and I've moved in my better divisions, and the Italians. You know what we're going to do? We're actually going to take these guys and send them back to Sicily to reduce the supply problem. But I'm keeping my good German divisions and some Italian divisions up at the front. So they withdrew back here, and they're having supply issues. I'm learning and hoping, doing better on this mod. I am building a Benghazi supply hub here. So we're getting that done to help out instead of building what we also really need, of course, is more rubber. So synthetic plants would be good. Narrowed it down to high-ranking officers because they were coveted by them. Very interesting. That could be. Like I say, turns out as well as they were contracted with America, the Mauser company ran a smear campaign against Krag. How interesting. Yeah, Eric is talking about the use of Krag Jorgensen's in the Boer War. And I was looking at it. It was looking like photos that I was seeing, just a few of them, looked like they were either using, well, the cartridges in their cartridge belts, and they were doing the sort of what I think of as the Mexican thing is, having a leather belt with lots of loops and single rounds stuck in there, as opposed to trying to having cartridge belts or whatever that are holding stripper clips. They were, I think, either tubular magazines, because I couldn't necessarily tell from some of the photos, or they were single shot magazines, but they definitely did not have the depth below them to have like a cartridge, built-in cartridge box on it. Magazine is what we would, for like a stripper clip. So maybe, they're looking like maybe Mauser, 1870s era or 1880s era Mausers, maybe, but some of those kind of things. So yeah, if that's what a lot of foot soldiers were still using those, bolt action would be a magazine fed bolt action would be a desirable weapon to have. But yeah, like I was saying, we have a significant rubber problem. Now, how to deal with this in this game? There's several ways that you could and should deal with this. One would be to obviously increase, which we are, the synthetic rubber. Two would be to not do what I've done here. What I've done here is have one production line of fighters, and so they're hogging up all of this rubber instead of having multiple production lines, which would have been better, I think, so that you can have some that are in full production and maybe some that are in less production. Because right now, they're getting a little bit, so it's not none. These are none right now. None. Damage factories. So let's move. Let's give the damage factories to somebody who's not producing anything. That would be a smarter move. Germany had a severe rubber shortage. Germany also produced a lot of vehicles, including tanks. Tanks had, generally speaking, rubber tires on their wheels. Because you got to remember, tanks roll on tracks. These are rolling on tracks. So these have You can't really. These have rubber wheels on them, so they use rubber, but they're not using here. So aircraft, yeah, aircraft use rubber, but I don't know if it's how much. You know, how much is it per aircraft? One. I guess you can't do less than one. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's maybe a bit too restrictive. One thing to determine was that out of all the rifles, Boris used the Krag's was most accurate of them all. Interesting. Interesting. I did not know that. I'm not sure because I thought the Mausers they used were very accurate, but again, I don't know. I haven't looked into it or shot them all or whatever. Okay, let's do some research here. Too many days. Okay, fuel. We're doing decent with fuel. Rubber should be a restricting element, but I don't know. We are in 41, so radar or now here I think is what we want to do here. Yes. Efficiency gaps. Okay, Mannlichers were more accurate than Mausers. The Austrian ones, you mean? Well, okay. That's, that's very hard to test, and I don't know what people are looking at when you make these determinations. And I'm not saying you're wrong, Arno or Eric or yeah, some of the Schmidt Rubens, yeah. If counting spare wheels for airplanes, it's probably plausible as they had high tear on wheels when landing. Yeah, beam slam, but then they would also recycle that rubber. Because you can recycle rubber. So if all of the well, okay, now there would be rubber left on the runway used up. So I don't know. Because to my understanding, the use of rubber on, well, there would be some stuff in like oxygen masks would probably have rubber and whatnot for some of the airplanes, and then the wheels would be rubber, and then seals in the engines and whatnot. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of had high tear on the wheels. Yeah, on landing. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's interesting. I guess what I'm concerned about here is, you can't have less than one rubber per thing. Okay, per factory unit. We are building currently 5 aircraft a day with all of these factories. Is that the right production level? I think they're producing a hell of a lot more aircraft per day. And I don't, how big of a production level, let's see, what's that? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 factories worth. So every 10 factories are producing an aircraft today here, factory production levels. Whatever you want to, because obviously one building could be bigger, it doesn't matter really, but so you would need this. Okay, so is there 40 here? Whatever. Well, no, it's using 40. It wants 50. So should you? Because obviously each factory minimum has to do is rubber. That seems like an awful lot of rubber to me. as in comparisons to how much the tanks use, which aren't using any rubber in this game, how much the trucks use for all of their tires. And I know, I guess you can't have a half. So what you need to do is either reduce or either increase the amount of aircraft you produce with a single factory, or you need to like double the number of rubber in the game, but have aircraft use only one. So it's in essence you still, these 50 aircraft would only need 25, currently effective 25 rubber. So I think it's over requiring it, I think. Self-healing rubber tanks. Yes, that's the Americans had those. I don't know, did the Germans? I know the Japanese did not. The Americans had them. I don't know. I just don't know. I'm not an aircraft expert on these things. Hello, M&M Vest on Alt. How you doing? Welcome to the channel. Brits had rubber tank. Okay, yeah, and I think the Germans. Yeah. You don't think the Germans had it? Yeah. So. And that would be something, self-sealing tanks or not, would be something that you could introduce for about the rubber. So, you know, trust me, guys. There's lots and lots. I'm doing great. There's lots I don't know about World War II. Trust me. I mean, I know a lot. I count myself as a minor expert of all my research and studies on all of it. But there's lots of areas I just don't know. And so I'm just trying to think on how best to simulate this very real problem. Excuse me, hiccuping a bit. This very real problem, but is, I don't know, is overly crippling my aircraft production, in my opinion. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to grab this and move this down. This will change priorities. And this may be what I should be doing here. Now, well, let's move it below half tracks even. Okay, now we get half tracks in production at least. Now we have, and now we have an 5,000 is a lot. Now I do know that I really haven't looked into it, is supplying supplies to areas, trucks, just for the logistics element. So I've been building lots of trucks, and I'm going to keep, I guess, doing so. I don't know if I'm probably overbuilding. Oh, we still have more things to move this below. Okay, there we go. Now we're into no trucks being produced. Okay, let's go to there, which will free up factories for other things, like Panzer IVs, Panzer IIIs somewhere in here, I think, as well, don't we? Your Panzer IIIs in production. Wow. Yeah, we do right here. Okay. Wow, I was looking all around, not seeing that. Okay. Yeah, some of this is silly. Some of this is just silly. That's how I'm going to do it. Did search for heavies, research for heavies. Yeah, not a bad idea. We currently, this is sort of our heavy tank line right now. Once we get to here, then we can move over to the Tigers and whatnot. But this is heavy tanks right now, so we are producing some. Tigers never disappointing. Very true. Very true. Yeah, I don't know. I think they have a too high of a rubber requirement for some units here. But it takes a lot to try to balance that out. But we need more fighters. The air war. There you go. Now back over here because I'm constantly juggling. Okay, we've declared war on, or they have declared war on Greece, and I've made some preparations for that by having a few divisions sitting over here that Italy gave me. And we have all of these guys over here, so let's move them, these infantry divisions, up to there. You guys go that way. Yeah, all of you guys, yeah, you come over here now. Not issue 2 orders at once. Yeah, that's the problem. Like I say, I hate this whack-a-mole thing. I want to just... Oh, well, you guys stop doing whatever. I just want to base them and say operate out of this base, and then whatever's in range, attack it. Okay, false Jaeger divisions, nice. Do preparations for researching heavy tigers. So we wanted to come into this port, not at the one at the front line, so that we would be better organized when we get to the front line. Where's our construction going? Okay, so getting there. Okay, fuel refining improved. Very, very good. That will definitely help with our fuel situation, but we also need to deal with production here. That's still way too far in advance to go for right now, but we can push into here. Increase output. Keep the Romanian oil. Yeah. Oil is not my problem. Oil is not right now my problem. Not that it won't become a problem, but it's rubber is my problem. Rubber. For some reason now we're negative steel because of whatnot. Okay. Reactivate core steel mill. Yes. How are we doing for war or economic fatigue? Down at 51%. So let's see. Pause. How much this? 6%. Okay, we'll exploit Belgium for. Thanks for following. Do appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. Thank you, Arno. Fully occupied 1 building slots. Yeah. Don't know that we need building slots so much at the moment. Reduce. No, we're not reducing. Rebalance the industries. Okay, we could do that as well. Back here. We'll attack here. Here with these guys. Keep them from shifting too many forces down this way. Fast enough. You. We're going to attack with 3 divisions that way, and we're going to attack up that way with the other 2, or the 3, I should say. Okay, well that's, let's see. Okay, we want to go back over here to make sure all of 1941's and well, we could do that. Hello, Tariq. Good to have you here from Turkey. And hello, Vermilion. 1, 2, 3. Rommel in Greece. Well, yeah, stop the Nazis. Yes. Rommel is commanding in the Mediterranean. Now, he also has some infantry divisions as well as some Italian divisions. Well, let's give him these Italian divisions here as well. Why would it be good to have Rommel commanding in Greece, Vermilion? Do you know of a reason why Rommel would be actually a very good commander in Greece? It's that is wrong with the current Rommel character? Well, in no war, Hearts of Iron would just be a sort of boring game, I would think. Desert Fox and Cold Mountains. Okay, but you see, you guys don't, you know who was Rommel? Who was Rommel? You speak Turkish. Cool. Yeah, I don't. He earned the Blue Max, the Pour le Mérite, the highest Prussian award you could get, though it was called in a French name, the Pour le Mérite. Why did he get the and that was issued in World War I. Why did he get that? I forget the name of the mountain, because he conquered a mountain here in Italy. The first guy up, his unit was the first unit to take the top of the mountain. He was a mountain trooper. He was in the Bavarian mountain unit for most of World War I, fighting in the mountains in Italy, fighting in the mountains in Romania. He was a mountain officer. If you've ever read Rommel's book, yes, Beamslam, as Beamslam is saying, Rommel was a good, so Rommel was, you would have presumed, because his book, Infantry Attacks, I've read it 4 or 5 times. I used to carry it in my car, whenever I was like waiting for something, I just pick it up and read it. I'd read it already through once, but just slowly reread it again and again. And it talks all about his, at the beginning of World War I, he's part of the Schlieffenplan movement. He's, gets wounded out in the, hills and plains out here in, the Low Countries. But after he recovers from that, he's sent out, he's transferred to a different Bavarian unit and in a mountain division, and fights in Romania in the mountains, and then in the Italian Alps here through the rest of the war. He is one of the best mountain officers, and would have probably, if he didn't get, why is he a Panzer General? Because he gets put in charge of the Army's protection squad for Hitler. There's also the SS protection squad, but there was also an Army one. He's in charge, so he gets to know Hitler, and he starts talking to Hitler, and basically sort of, hey, I would be a great guy commanding a Panzer division. I'd be a great guy commanding a Panzer division. If I commanded a Panzer division, I would do this, I would do that. And he talks it up with Hitler. So when they're forming not the good German equipped Panzer divisions, but one of the Panzer divisions that they were equipping with Czech tanks, considered to be not as good as the German tanks. All right, give that promote Colonel Rommel up to general, and give him that division. We'll see how he does. It's sort of as an experiment, because he's well known from his book as being an infantry officer, being a mountain officer. But they give him a Panzer division, and he does excellently through France. So he becomes, the Ghost division, because it's moving around, no one knows where it is. He does excellently with tanks, but he doesn't, to the best of my knowledge, really go through a lot of the Panzer training schools of how to be like a company commander in Panzers. He's just given the job, and he does very well with it, but he's not like gone through like a bunch of the Panzer commanders that mid-late war generals have gone through all of the schools and how to do the stuff. He does it instinctively. So yeah, Rommel is, I know who Ataturk is. He's the founder of modern day Turkey, for sure. He's the one of the young Turks who overthrows the last of the Ottoman Empire. So he very much would look on paper to be commanding a mountain division, but he gets his Panzer division, does very well. So he should, their traits. No, I want to click here. Their traits. He should have start off with Mountaineer. He's earning it now, but it should be one of his starting ones. Should be more so than the Desert Fox or any other trait he should have. It should be a Mountain General. So he'd be the perfect one to fight in Greece, because he knows both modern war, panzers and maneuver, as well as mountain warfare. Also, if you didn't know, Rommel was a pilot. He used to fly alone over the desert in a Storch, one of those little Friesler Storch. That's a naval bomber. One of these sort of guys. Not maybe exactly that model, but a little reconnaissance Friesler Storch. He would fly alone over it. Over the desert to scout out his plans of attack and looking for the enemy. So he wasn't a fighter pilot or anything like that, but just your sort of basic pilot. A little bit into Turkish history, not that I'm any expert on it. Panzer 38Ts, yes. Hello, Total Hell. It's close. Black Ice is also close. I have, you know, I can talk a lot of problems, and I bring up the problems with the as I see it, the history here. But it is one of the more accurate. I don't know if it's the most accurate, but it is more than most that I've found, or area or other people found for me. Why did you stop attacking? I didn't say stop attacking there. Push down into there. Okay, so we'll do improved enigma. Maybe time to do that now. Do I have enough divisions and whatnot to invade the Soviet Union this spring? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Let's add a few more divisions in training. We've got a lot of political power. Okay, permit foreign recruitment. Okay, so we need to permit foreign recruitment to get some of those. Refit motorized divisions. Need to have at least one division in West Berlin. What, West Berlin there? Oh, that's East Berlin. What am I thinking? Oh, the west one's on the far side. Yes. Does that allow it to happen? Yes, motor division. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, we'll be... Oh, wait a minute. Whoa, whoa. Okay, active effects when removed. Yes. Refitted with it most... Oh, okay, no, so we have to move this division. How clever. Okay, we have to move this unit here, which currently is an infantry division. So what we need to do is come send you here. Very cool. Okay, now we get you out. Let's move this battery here to the east. No, I don't speak Turkish, not at all. I'm from California, Los Angeles area. Let's see what we should research now. Heavy flak. No, we could do some. So we probably should make some rockets. That might help us out. Okay, well, let's think about that. Let's look at producing some rocket systems here. They don't require rubber. No, we don't want to create a variant. I just want to put these into production. Now, let's up here, make sure they get the steel that they might need. Over submarines. Okay, do that. How are we on? Go down by 5, which will help out the rocket production. So get some. Oh, we need more. What can, I don't know, any of you out there tell me what the hell you need tungsten for in a rocket? Please, somebody. What do you need tungsten for in a rocket? Yeah, an actual, not in the machinery to make it, but in the actual. I would say you don't need any tungsten of any significant amounts. That's why you have rockets. That's why they liked rockets. Because rockets didn't require you to have rocket barrels. I mean, yeah, I mean, some of them were tube launched, but they're not like, you know, proper gun barrels that are set up to do high stresses. So that sucks. That sucks. The only reason we're going down in the needs of trucks is because, or is rubber, is because we've reduced our needing for that. For the bling bling, yeah, no, that's. German rockets are some of the more complicated rockets, but I still don't think them consuming tungsten to make it. This is what aggravates me on these things. You attack there to pin all those forces while we flank around to the other side. You attack there, and you two attack up that way. Hey, Road Manor, how you doing? If there's anybody new here, you can hit the subscribe button on YouTube or the follow button on Twitch. And everybody on YouTube, if you haven't already, hit the like button. It does sort of help with YouTube and the algorithm. So we've just won there. Okay, the better division starts marching straight for Athens. Oh, you gotta go all the way down there. No, you stay right there. Unpause. You support the attack. You guys attack into there. 12 Island, don't quite get that reference.
Bereit zum Ausrücken. Befehle. Ausrücken.
There to deal with their counterattack.
Befehle. Bereit zum Ausrücken. Bereit zum Ausrücken. Achtung. Achtung. Ausrücken. Achtung.
Actually, you can, well, you join in, I guess. Okay, well, we got Athens. Pushing towards Thessaloniki. Thessalonica, however you want to say it. Okay, you don't need to keep following them. You come down this way. We'll
Ausrücken.
just down to here.
Ihre Befehle.
Back or whatever.
Befehle. Zeigt es ihnen. Bereit zum Ausrücken. Bereit zum Ausrücken. Ausrücken.
Want to cut me off? No, 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 no. We're getting shore bombard, yeah. Eh.
Zuhören. Achtung. Los, los, los.
Okay, we're down here. Good, you come that way.
Angetreten. Befehle.
Good, hospitals, yay. Better hospitals, nice. Okay, let's go with the Panzer 3L.
Ihre Befehle.
Okay, improved Enigma, good. Description bonus, nice. Okay, let's now finally go for... Now let's do foreign recruitment here.
Zuhören.
Now, attack there.
Befehle.
What's that attack? Demand tigers. Well, we're not there yet, Arno. Not yet.
Bereit. Achtung. Achtung.
The reason I'm attacking up here, even though it's so bad, was just to keep them from reinforcing down into here.
Achtung.
Now they're coming to there. That's good. With India movement. India calls for independence have intensified lately. Now things have come to a head as the radical Quit India movement has called for the United Kingdom to leave the country as soon as possible. British authorities were quick to react, however, and have cracked down on the movement, arresting several leaders in dawn raids on homes across India. Reports prepared by Special Branch indicate that many sympathizers are still at large, however, and many in the civil service have expressed fears that more extreme elements of the movement may even resort to violence. Okay, what do I want to say about this? I totally understand why any nation would want to be independent from the English, being an American. There were lots of Indians that saw the value of British governance. I think I want to put it that way. Had they not seen the value of British governance, Britain would not control the dominion of India. You know, really sort of late 1700s. It's really sort of locked in. But this is a unhistorical map in that there are many, we'll call them puppet states, might be the correct term. And there were three different areas in India controlled by forgetting the exact word. One was from Bombay, one was from Calcutta, and the other one was this is Bombay. No, Madras. Yeah, Madras down here. So Madras, Bombay, and Calcutta were the sort of the three main regions that administered the British-controlled parts of India. Presidencies, I think they were called. And then plus there was also, which sort of was, and it depends at what time you're talking about, is a different sort of setup for Burma. But we can sort of forget about Burma for the moment. And then there were lots of principalities and other minor sort of puppet states going on in Britain. Britain really sort of, I mean, there's pre-Clive, but Clive of India, a British general, is really the British general who really sets, and that's sort of early 18th century, really sets up the start of British rule over large areas of India. And even with the Indian Mutiny that's put down, Britain cannot rule all of India unless India is willing to let itself be ruled. I think British governance and I've talked about this in different times a lot, really is a thing that the world hadn't experienced before, or governance like Britain. There is definitely corrupt elements of it, but compared to a lot of the rest of the world, Britain is trying to get rid of corruption. And there is corruption in Britain. There's corruption in the British Empire. Absolutely. There's corruption everywhere. Power corrupts. But in Britain, it's a lot less. It really is. Yeah, Arno wants to fuck Britain. Yeah, fine. And they really start out with this idea of reforming government to get rid of corruption. So the Indians really get, I think, a lot of benefit out of British governance, as well as, shall we say, modern bureaucracies, modern institutions that Britain brings to it. So, you know, if they wanted to rebel and just go up, nothing Britain could do to stop it. You even look at the Indian Mutiny. I don't know if any of the princely states, we Dutch have a bad history. Well, I would say you have hey, I thought you ruled Britain for a while, didn't you? The Dutch? I seem to remember a Dutch king ruling Britain. William of Orange? He ruled Britain for you know, a good chunk of his life. So I thought you liked the English. And so, you know, I don't think, again, I'm not a big scholar on the British mutiny, or the Indian mutiny under Britain. Now, part of the problem with the Indian mutiny is I mean, there's some underlying factors for sure, but it was also a sort of something of a Russian-supported, you know, disinformation campaign and others to create revolt. Well, I like most English, just not the royals. Just not the royals. So are you objecting to the German monarchy of modern-day Britain, or the old British monarchy, or when the Dutch were the monarchs of Britain? I don't know. Sort of don't know what you're talking about there. Probably the modern German monarchy you don't like. Okay. So, you know, it isn't supported by the you know, the princely states, and the sort of, some are rather independent, some are rather puppet states. Most of them, so long as they stayed within certain bounds, they got to do what they wanted to do, what they wanted internally. You know, they couldn't go fight their neighbors, they couldn't foment rebellion. But there's a lot of Indians that really see the benefit to British rule. Now, Gandhi is an interesting person, the guy pictured mostly naked there. He is a lawyer. And to be a lawyer, you've got to go to what? Oh, a British school. And see, he's part of the system. He travels to South Africa. And he doesn't like the racism he encounters in South Africa. Now, Gandhi's a bit of a racist himself. He thinks himself superior than the African, but equal to the Englishman or whatever when he gets thrown off a train, and that sort of starts him down the road of anti-Britishness, because he's so much part of the British ruling elite. He leaves India to go administer other parts of Britain's colonies and rejects it eventually. And I've seen some interviews, because there's a huge amount of modern day Britons that are Indians, but they are, many of them, I don't know if most of them, because most means more than half, but many of them are the Indians that administered the British Empire all over the British Empire. And when the British Empire fell apart, instead of going back to India, they went to Britain. And so these are, you know, Anglified Indians. And so Gandhi is an Anglified Indian. He speaks English. He knows English so well he becomes a lawyer in the English system. And so he's one of those. Now again, he fights for independence. I think it's about 30 to 50 years too soon for the good of India, the Quit India movement. Now, why is the Quit India movement happening now? Well, a couple of reasons. A few reasons. One, World War I really exhausts the British Empire significantly. World War II, right now, Britain is in desperate situations. They're not yet at war with Japan, but they're in desperate situations, so they know it's weak. So they're preying upon a weak empire to achieve independence. And I think if it wasn't for the being gutted in World War I and then even worse under World War II, Britain probably would have been around controlling India for about another 30 or so years, 20 or 30 years. But just sort of my thoughts quickly on India. Let's continue our conquest down here. Okay, armored cars and that. Okay, well, let's do some research. We're getting ready to do more research. Okay, Panzer IVs. Okay, we're now, let's see, 41. Yeah, I like those. Condors. Cool airplane. Okay. You support that attack up to there. Well, maybe, but right now we have more invested in 109, so I don't know that we need two lines of production right now. Just sort of a hassle to do. We're having enough problems with rubber and whatnot. Oh, well, that might be an interesting thing. Let me see. Okay, it needs one rubber. I was wondering if one of these somehow could use less or more rubber. I don't know. They're about the same, so not a good enough reason to change at the moment. Well, Arno, it would be a massive disruption to switch over. It would be a massive disruption, so I don't really want to switch over. We're having enough problems with aircraft as it is now, because we go from 6 a day to like 1 a day or less, and take half a year to get up there. It just isn't worth it. Just is not worth it. Even if they are better. I don't know that they are. Better, that is. Oh, you... I wanted you to support the attack, not join it. You moved it all the way out down to Heraklion. Yeah, I don't think you'd do that. Would you? Well, let's build some. Do we have any heavy flak guns in production already? Because I know we need some more. I don't know that we have any in production. No. Okay. Yeah, you're right, Arno. It just I don't want to mess with my production lines right now.
Ihre Befehle? Zuhören! Achtung! Angetreten! Angetreten! Ausrücken! Bereit! Angetreten! Achtung! Angetreten! Bereit zum Ausrücken!
Doing with her. Okay, we got the increased supplies coming through here. What the supply hub now? Can we? Let's see. Build. Those railways. Yeah, well, in time maybe.
Befehle!
Hopefully, if we take this last thing, it'll be. I know we don't have that other capital directly on, but
Befehle!
still got to surrender at some point. Come on, guys.
Bereit!
Also way out here. Okay, well. Well, I think we're going to end the episode here. I want to thank you all for hanging out with me. Really do appreciate it. And we'll be back next time with even more, yes, more Hearts of Iron. Okay, guys, I think we're going to continue this next week. Or maybe I'll do another talk. I don't know if you'll be interested on what's going on. If enough new things are going on in Ukraine, I might cover like I did last week. We'll see. And tomorrow, I think it'll be War Thunder if Arno and others want to join. Or you can just come and hang out while we drive tanks and that. No, continue. No, I need to take a break, Arno. Thanks for the encouragement. But see, Arno, you got here an hour late. Because if your time schedule was different than mine, though it should be, I'm going to be starting at my normal time, 8 a.m. tomorrow, Arno. So don't know with your time change. I think you'll be. How about Infantry Thunder? Yeah, enlisted? Nah, I don't want to play enlisted right now. Don't know that enough people do. But yeah, definitely. Well, we could talk about War Thunder. I'm not saying zero no, but we can see about that if enough people are interested in enlisted. No. Well, we'll see. You can talk to me tomorrow and see if anybody else wants to play enlisted, and I'll see about updating my game and make sure everyone updates the game. So we can see about enlisted tomorrow maybe, but update your game anybody else who's interested, you might want to post that on the Discord. If people are interested, they should start the game and make sure it gets updated to the latest one. So, yep. Cool little emote there. Thanks, Beam Slam. So hopefully see everyone tomorrow. Be safe out there, those of you in the war zone. I know there's a few who watch sometimes that are. So please be safe, everyone. Thanks.